Dude, diarrhea. Diarrhea full of shit. Just play along me, myself, and I, and no one else. Yo, I'm so legit. It occurred to me, just right now, I had said a few audio presentations ago, a few days ago, I had mentioned, this big army truck that I wanted to buy. If it's got bad, piston rings or something, and it's burning, antifreeze and whatnot, and it runs hot, and, it could be a whole number of problems, it might be something that's not a big deal. It might be something that's a huge deal. And I can't get a straight answer from this guy. I can't get any answer. So I know for a fact that rebuilding an engine can take it'll cost anywhere from like $25,000 to $35,000 roughly. Now the deuce and a half, if I remember correctly, the guy said that he did rebuild the engine. Now maybe he didn't rebuild the whole thing, maybe he just rebuilt like the top end or something, but he's charging $2,500 for it, and I neglected to ask at the time about that. And I'm not going to bother calling him because I don't want to pester him. He's a busy guy. But when I go down there to look at it, then I'll talk to him. Because that occurred to me. That's why I'm backing out of this, because I don't know, and I finally came to my senses and realized, this you're going to get burnt potentially. The potential is very high. And now, like I said, I just looked up all of his shit. The reviews are a joke, I just sort of scanned through them, but the one, it was long-winded, it had pictures. When you type on the pictures of his site, again, there's other multiple jobs that are all half-ass and shit, where the wood's split and the nails all crooked, and they, painted over it like that. One was like, I don't know how, they always use his first and last name, so like I said in my other audio presentation, this guy's on blast, but I don't know how he sleeps at night, and this, that, and the other. And as I said a few days ago, I said something like this: he seems like the type of guy who would schedule a job, show up, do half of it, and then just not finish it. Well, I was right. Like I said, I'd say I'm a pretty good judge of character, but a blind dude could, get a pretty accurate read on this guy. So that's why I gave him $7,000 just willy-nilly, because I'm such a good judge of character. Shit. all of them creds that you had before, poof. Oh, wait, back up, wait. I had creds before? yeah. But anyway, I had creds. I don't know more, but I did. Or you know what I'm saying, or not. But I don't care. Like I said, embarrassed, ashamed. Well, that came and went. Okay. I'm me. I don't waste time fucking around at this point. Now I think it's kind of funny. Yeah, one time I gave a guy $7,000 just based on trust. Never met the man before in my life. Man. So, I if my nephew's down the road or something, yeah, you might not want to do that. Shit. Alrighty. But I don't know. Like I said, I trust the other guy as much as I can, right? Quote unquote. Because he was more like me. Like I said, if I didn't know better, I'd think he was mad at me. So, anyway. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Because that's like about kind of what they go for, but the rebuilt engine. You know, I don't know. I neglected to ask. You know, if I was worth a damn. Like I said, I'm still learning shit. Like, you know, wow, okay, wow. I just, you know, wake up call, wake up. You know, same thing. That kind of led me to just now, though, you know, delayed reaction. Wait a minute. Huh. But he's, you know, he's like, hey, come on down, check it out. You know, I mean, whatever. You know, he'll, you know, he doesn't seem like a beat around the bush kind of guy. But, and I can ask him questions and he'll tell me, you know, like why. So the guy brought it down for this. And maybe I'm wording that wrong. It seems like rebuilt engine, but like I said, rebuilding an engine is kind of a big deal. You know, engines in a lot of cases can cost pretty much as the damn car. So, like, even if you buy a brand new crate engine, you know, or whatever, you don't rebuild it. I don't know which is more expensive, to rebuild it or just buy a new one. You know, because the labor and the stuff of rebuilding one, you know, it just sort of depends, you know. Like I said, I'm not a hot rod gearhead guy. I'm not really in tune with that world. I understand kind of the basics, you know, the macro details, you know, but not the micro details, you know what I'm saying? Macro, for those idiots who don't know, basically mean like the general shit. So, yeah, engines be expensive. So, and that's kind of why that's kind of known as an expensive, you know, hobby to get into, you know, cars and whatnot. It's because even if you do all the work yourself, you know, it's like parts cost money. So, and the availability, and if it's a part that they don't make anymore, but they make replicas, you know, and then you got to find that through, you know, a company that specializes in that, you know, and there's, you know, things can get pretty pricey, and it's not only what it's worth, but then you get people who might just decide to hike it up the price, you know, because, oh, you're looking for this part, you know, for 1946, you know, such and such, you know, tow truck or whatever. Oh, yeah, okay, well, this is what it's worth, and I'm charging triple because I can. You want the part or don't you? You know, and then you could get into, like, making the part yourself, you know, and then that's, okay, right, you got a machine shop, okay, all right, well, good for you. Or if you want to kind of Frankenstein an existing part and modify it, okay, all right, if you want to, but mind you, you got to really be good and know what you're doing, because, you know, you might think, oh, okay, but then you get it up there at high RPMs and high, you know, compression and whatnot, and all of a sudden it fucks up not only the part, but all the, you know, parts downstream from that part. So now you just created a big problem, you know, and a big old headache, and, you know, you just need to be smart and be wise about shit like that, you know, I mean. And that's true with anything, you know. It's like not all bolts and screws and nails are created equal. Is it stainless steel? Is it going to be outdoors? How long is it going to last? Is it going to literally rot away in 10 years? Is it going to rattle loose in 10 years? If you're building something with bolts, is that the right kind of bolt? Is it rated for the kind of abuse that it's going to be taken? You know, like if you're building a trailer or something like that? Okay. Do you want to weld the shit out of it? Because I'd rather, you know, use 2 bolts so it's locked and then tack weld the bolts, you know. But even then, are those the right bolts? Did you just go down to Home Depot and buy some big bolts? What do you know about bolts? You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know much, now how do you educate yourself? Because remind you, this is current year. So nobody knows shit, not know nothing about nothing. Because we're all diluted on our phones. Okay? People don't care. People don't know. And people don't care. Or they just make shit up and they figure, well, it's good enough. You know? Like you're asking somebody in the paint aisle, you know, at Home Depot, hey, what's the deal with this? And he starts reading the can. So, well, hell, I could do that myself. I thought you had expertise in this. You know, and, you know, like my future bestie says, and I've said this before too. In fact, he probably got it from me. Find the guy, you know, with the mustache and the gray hair, you know, and the apron, you know, and shit. Like I said, my granddad, this is a long time ago, he had a Montgomery Ward riding mower, and I needed a cable, so I went and got it, and lo and behold, they didn't have the cable. And this old dude, just like my future bestie said, he was an older dude, he had like a mustache, I shit you not, it was gray, had the apron, you know, with the pockets and shit. And he made that part. And like I said, I'm going to start doing that in my shed. But I need to make sure that, if I'm using a cable or something, is it going to be the right cable? It's one thing if it's holding up the deck of a lawnmower. It's another thing if it's a bolt holding, the tongue to a trailer that I just built. So, because you drive that shit down the road, and then like I said, there's a law in my other audio presentation. It turns out there's a law for everything. So if that trailer falls apart and hurts somebody and they find out that you made that shit homemade, guess who's looking at, unintentional, manslaughter or whatever. There's different levels. There's like, if you're doing something that is dangerous and somebody gets hurt and or killed, you're held to a higher accountability under those circumstances. Now, if you had no idea and you thought you were the world's greatest trailer builder, then you will not be held to as much standard. But if you didn't follow the rules, like if you build an airplane or a car or a shed, if you just build an outbuilding and you don't get the permits for it, and somebody is out there and gets hurt, the damn thing falls on them, they're going to do a deep dive. If they find out that you didn't follow the rules and get all the permits and shit, guess who's on the hook for that? You. So just keep that in mind. There is a law for everything. So live your life like that. Like I said in that other audio presentation where I was talking about, I might have to walk away from that. I'm not going to get all Billy Badass on this dude. I don't have the horsepower for it. Or whatever, the whole decent little engine analogy. I'm not going to open that door. And then I become susceptible because I'm human. I might get heated, and ill-tempered, and my adrenaline's, going, and, heart rate's up, and, my body's getting ready to fight. And I might just take action on that, and that might end badly as far as weapons or cops being called, and I just don't want to fuck with that, especially at this stage in my life because I'm old as fuck and whatnot. I just want to ride it out. So I said that in my other audio presentation too. I got it all planned out. I've thought about it. I know not only how it's going to go, but how I'm going to feel. For any of my future ex-wives out there or whatever, who are thinking, nope, we're good. I mean, as if, but like I said, this shit's real. So, Kosinaboo, Bunny Humper. I mean, that was bullshit. I just sort of said that on a whim. I noticed that you got a dude. I'm assuming you don't know that guy. Like I said, Bunny Humper, you. Leave a comment below. Who's all, so anyway, that's that. So anyway, and I remember that at the time, and I was like in my early 20s or whatever. I've been impressed with a lot of things like my granddad and my dad do, but this dude who was a stranger, I was like, shit, this is where it's at. I remember thinking that, fuck. Like even at the time, it's like this dude is a step above, and he's probably like, 100 years old now or whatever, but anyway, it is what it is. So if you need to educate yourself, keep in mind where you're getting your education from. So, and use sense. You got to have sense. Okay, does this seem right? Apparently I don't. I just said that sentence. You got to have sense. Does this seem right? He's selling a deuce and a half for $2,500. Well, he said $300 or less. I said $2,500. I probably could have got away with $2,000. Dude, Mr. Wise Grasshopper Sensei. Did it ever occur to you to maybe think, how come you're selling it for so low if you rebuilt the engine? So, I have my faults. I'm kind of scatterbrained. It's all there. I just need to find it and put it in a pile and, okay, 1, 2, 3, instead of all, right now it's all in front of me. Okay, 1, 4, 5, 8, 22, 129, it's all over the place. I just, what I mean? It's there. I just don't, what I mean? So, when life kicks you in the ass, thank it. Don't get mad. I mean, you can the emotions, right? Because you're human. You have to be able to do that shit. Otherwise, you're a freak or a robot, right? You don't want to be like a sociopath. So emotions are good. Feelings are good. But then once you're done with that, you know, what am I trying to say? Think practically, think logically. So, if life kicks you in the ass, thank it. And be thankful for the lesson. And, you know, be grateful that, you know, it's not a bigger one. You know what I mean? What if I had gave that dude the whole full 1,500 and said, hey, look, I'll be right back, you know, and whatever. So, let's say you get in a heated exchange with somebody, you get in a fight. Well, you know, maybe you win, maybe you lose. Well, like I said, maybe you win, and the guy, you know, is still in a blind rage, and he goes into his house or his trunk or under his seat or his glove box and pulls out a piece. His life is most likely over. He's going to go, you know, do 25, you know, years to life in prison. You know, like big boy prison, you know, medium security or better, not no county jail. And where you're in there with a bunch of misfits and fuck ups. But your life is over too, quite literally. So just always take stock, you know what I mean? Why did I do that? Pride, ego, I was mad. You know, just be thankful every time something creeps into your thick fucking coconut, because I sure shall am. And it's amazing. So, like I said, the thing that separates me from a lot of people is I know I'm a dumbass. And that might sound arrogant, but I mean it. And I sign off on it and I stand behind it. I am fucking better than you. I am better than most of my fucking peers, if I could even call them that. The human beings that I share this goddamn space with. I am fucking better than you. I might not be smarter than you. You know, you might have a better thing going on than me. But I'm better than you. And I mean that humbly. Anybody else says that, it's like they're just fooling themselves. When I say it, I have concluded that after all other fucking possibilities. So, is it me? Am I being irrational? No. You are a piece of fucking shit. As am I. But I'm aware of it and I try and mitigate it. And I do pretty good. You? Not so much. So, and the stuff that I do fuck up on, it's all self-contained, you know what I mean? It doesn't really affect anybody else. My dumbassery. But anyway, god damn, this turned into another long-ass audio presentation. I added some recent videos to my funny shit folder. The one with the jackass giant hand one, I actually stumbled across that like 7 or 8 years ago. But the one with the sketch artist, that's funny. Thanks to the sketch note out and all that. I got some funny shit in there. But feel free to check that out if you want to, dear online family and friends. So Bunny Humper, that dude, what did he say? I'm paraphrasing. If you ever need to talk, you know, let me know. You know, DM me. I'm assuming you don't know that guy, because if you did, and again, I'm an old fuddy-duddy, I'm thinking, well, either text or call. Email is for more like business-related stuff. You know, it kind of depends. Maybe for somebody you don't talk to very much or haven't seen in a while, then you could email them. It just depends, and it depends on your age and shit. But yeah, I'm assuming that's just some dude who, you know, is a fan or stumbled across your stuff and, you know, is like, hey. I could be your boyfriend. Damn Sims. I feel sorry for you girls. Anyway, so many suck ass chumps out there. I bet you lay awake at night wishing you're a real man, don't you? Don't you now? Or not. But I just had to chuckle at that. Anyway, ulterior motives much. Like I said, the way to do that, if you're going to be the shoulder to cry on, is talk to them just like you would your sister, your brother, your friend, your father, your mother. You know, maybe she just needs an ear. Maybe she just wants to listen. It's up to you to decipher whether she just wants you to listen or if you want to offer your opinion. You know, but that's hard for a lot of, you know, thirsty simp ass motherfuckers. You know, because there's always that in the background, you know, of you trying to impress her or whatever versus just, And the thing is, you know, she'll think about that because you're probably the exception, not the rule. You're the uncommon, not the common. So, you know, it might take a day or a couple days, but she'll probably think about that. You know, like, oh, wow. Nobody's ever just genuinely offered, you know, their advice and it genuinely listened. It's always, you know, and remember, chicks pick up on those subtleties, you know, like, oh, why are you looking at me like that? Why are you talking all smooth and shit now all of a sudden? Why did you lean in, you know, when you said that, you know, just all these little things, you know, that maybe you know, because you're subconsciously trying, you know, baby, it's okay, you know, or whatever, and she picks up on that shit. So, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write all kinds of books. How to be the shoulder to cry on and not be a simp. Yeah, like I said, 50 pages or less. And that way when I'm friends with my future bestie, Cool Breeze, which I'm never going to be friends with, you know, like I said, man, how's your book sale going? Yeah, look at this latest one I just wrote. I mean, the title in and of itself is a fucking joke. I mean, look at this. How to be the shoulder to cry on and not be a simp. Right? Is this a joke? Is it for real? It's 50 fucking pages, large print, maybe even throw in some pictures, you know. We're gonna be best friends, him and I. It's like it'll be like we've been best friends forever.